Hi, we are Rob and Kathy, and welcome to our channel. Join us for our travels in Australia and beyond. Good morning, viewer. Welcome to Monday. It's our last day in Kakadu and really on tour, and it's been great. Today we head off, big driving day, to Lichfield National Park. We're going to visit some waterfalls, Wangi Falls and the Florence Falls. We might get a swim at Wangi Falls. Could be very welcome because it's going to be 41 degrees. And then we head back to Darwin where we'll spend the night. So things are winding up, but there's still plenty more to see. We're back on the road again now and heading, as I said, to Lichfield National Park. Lichfield National Park is an ancient landscape shaped by water. The park covers approximately 1,500 square kilometres. There are beautiful waterfalls such as Wangi Falls and Florence Falls, which flow all year long. And it was a long morning in the saddle. And here we are crossing the Mary River, which we came across before when we were on the corroboree billabong. Speaking of corroborees, our morning tea stop was at Corroboree Park. It features crocodiles, a water buffalo, a caravan park, a shop that sells everything, and it was a very pleasant half-hour stop. This is Brutus, the saltwater crocodile. And no roadhouse would be complete without a friendly water buffalo. Once more back on the bus, and you can see some quite impressive termite mounds, but more on those a little later. Here we are crossing the Adelaide River. Next stop, lunch. But before we stopped for lunch, we entered Lichfield National Park. And this is our lunch venue. Looking a little like an industrial complex. Inside, however, it was an excellent venue for large groups. The menu catered for all tastes. The food was home cooked, and as you can see, it's certainly well set up. One of the most important things on this trip has been making sure everyone has enough water, and the bus and the tour guide both ensure that we have plenty of water whenever we go off on any kind of trip, because it does get hot and you really do feel it. After lunch we were able to get up close to one of these amazing termite mounds. These are called cathedral termite mounds, and they're a distinctive feature of the Northern Territory. The walls are hardened clay to keep the internal temperatures and humidity constant. They can be as high as 4 metres, and the mound lives between 50 to 100 years. Lunch finished and back on the bus, we headed for Wangi Falls. Wangi Falls is one of the most popular swimming holes in Lichfield National Park. The falls flow all year round. The excellent swimming hole is a short, accessible walk from the car park. There is a cafe with outdoor undercover seating. Here we are making our way down to the falls, where we've been assured there are probably no crocodiles. And it's always a comfort to see signs about crocodile safety. And then we were at the wonderful Wangi Falls. The waterfall descends from an elevation of 84 metres. The area is regularly checked for crocodiles, especially after the wet season. In July of 2023, there was a saltwater crocodile attack at Wangi Falls. It was not fatal, and a 67-year-old man was taken to Darwin Hospital. Other than that, it's a great place for a swim. And on a 40-plus day, it was very refreshing. We checked out some of the local wildlife. These bats are just trying to keep cool. And we came across this fellow who was just looking for something to eat. Had our dip in Wangi Falls and it was beautiful. It really is an excellent little location, a little off the beaten track for the average Sydney-sider. But it was lovely, wasn't it?
It was. It's like a reward at the end of the drive.
Yes, and you can get ice creams. So it's all good. Our next stop was Florence Falls. The spectacular Florence Falls cascades into a plunge pool. The falls flow all year long. The large plunge pool allows you to swim right up to the waterfall. Earlier, we saw those magnificent cathedral termite mounds. These are magnetic termite mounds. Their flat sides face east and west, and the narrow side faces north. The far north is the only place in the world in which they occur. They look like tombstones. Now we've finished all our sights and we're heading back to Darwin. And here we are in Darwin. It's 5:30, we are exhausted. Catherine, in her infinite wisdom, has arranged for us to get a room with a harbour view. Isn't that nice? So we're going to finish off now for the day, and we're out to go and source some food and then an early night, I think. So we'll see you tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow evening we'll catch you up for our evening dinner cruise. See you then. Good afternoon, viewer. It's our last day in Darwin and our last day of our adventure. We've had a quiet morning and afternoon, wandered round in the extreme heat and humidity and sweated profusely, and now we're just getting ready to go out for the last part of our Outback Spirit holiday, which is a sunset cruise on the harbour. So we'll take you along to that and see what it looks like. Catch you there. We are coming up to our boat for our Darwin Harbour dinner cruise, and it looks a lovely evening for it. Here's Cook perusing the menu. And then we were on our way and off into Darwin Harbour. Darwin is surrounded by the waters of the harbour, and it provides a beautiful backdrop to daily life. The harbour is relatively shallow at about 50 metres at its deepest point. Most of the harbour is lined with mangrove forest. Fishing is the main recreational activity, with barramundi the favourite catch. There are a number of wrecks in the harbour, some from the Japanese bombing during World War II and others from Cyclone Tracy. The presence of abundant box jellyfish, crocodiles and sharks makes water sports somewhat problematic. The views were spectacular and the meal was adequate. It did allow us to share memories over the last 2 weeks with other members of our touring group. Darwin isn't the most picturesque harbour by night. The city centre and the Parliament building, known as the Wedding Cake, are however the exceptions. Then we started to head back. we realised this wasn't just the end of our Darwin Harbour cruise, but the end of our entire 14-day Garn, Outback, Kakadu adventure. Tomorrow morning, we fly out to return to Sydney. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. You might even consider subscribing to the channel. See you next time.